Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into the mind of entrepreneur and philosopher Naval Ravikant. We're going to break down his framework for building wealth and, maybe more importantly, for actually living a happy life.
All right, let's kick things off with a quote that's pretty provocative. Comparing a monthly salary to heroin? Wow. See, Naval's whole point is that a steady paycheck is dangerous because it's predictable, it's comfortable, and it's addictive. And that addiction keeps you from ever building real wealth.
And that quote, it perfectly sets up this huge problem Naval talks about all the time, the time for money trap. It's basically a hamster wheel. You run, you get paid. You stop running, the money stops. Sound familiar?
Here's the deal. If you're getting paid for your time, your income has a hard ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day, right? You can't earn money while you're sleeping, or on vacation, or when you finally retire. Your inputs, your hours, are directly tied to your outputs, your pay. And that makes it almost impossible to scale your way to freedom.
So, if trading your time for money is a trap, what's the way out? Well, this is where we have to completely redefine our goal. Naval says we need to stop chasing money, and we absolutely need to stop chasing status. Instead, the focus has to be on building wealth.
And he draws this really clear line between two different games we play in life. The wealth game is positive sum. We can all win. If you create something valuable, it doesn't take away from my ability to create something valuable. But the status game, that's zero sum. It's all about your rank in a hierarchy. For you to be number one, somebody else has to get knocked down to number two. It's a fight over a fixed pie.
And this is where Naval's definition of wealth just clicks. It's so simple, yet so powerful. Wealth isn't money. Wealth is the stuff that makes money for you. It's the assets that are working 24/7, whether it's a business, a piece of software, or investments humming along in the background.
And why do we want this wealth? It's not about buying a Lamborghini. The true goal, the real prize, is freedom. Simple as that. It's the freedom to control your own time, to wake up without an alarm clock, to not have a boss breathing down your neck. It's about being in charge of your own life. Okay, so that all sounds great, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you build these assets? Well, according to Naval, you need what he calls a force multiplier. You need leverage. This is the absolute key to breaking that link between your time and your money.
This idea is ancient, right? Archimedes figured it out thousands of years ago. But what's kind of mind-blowing is how the most powerful levers have totally changed. And our brains, honestly, haven't quite caught up to just how much leverage is now at our fingertips. And this table just lays it all out so clearly. You've got the old forms of leverage, labor, getting people to work for you, and capital, which is just money. And to get those, you needed permission. Someone had to agree to hire you or give you a loan. But the new levers, code and media, they are permissionless. You don't need to ask anyone for permission to write an app or start a YouTube channel. This is the real game changer.
So how do you put all this together? How do you use these new forms of leverage? Naval's core strategy is a concept he calls productize yourself. Now that might sound a little weird, but it's actually a super concrete plan.
It breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you have to find your specific knowledge. This isn't something you learn in school. It's that unique thing you're naturally curious about, the thing that feels like play to you but looks like hard work to everybody else. Step 2, take accountability. Put your name on what you do. Take the risks. Society rewards that. And finally, step 3, apply leverage. Use code or media to take that specific knowledge and scale it up to reach thousands, even millions of people.
So what it really means is that making money becomes a natural extension of who you are, not just something you do for 8 hours a day. You're not selling your time anymore. You're selling a product that is uniquely you. And the amazing part is you can sell it over and over again.
But let's say you do it. You master the game of wealth. You've built the assets, you've achieved freedom. Naval points out that there's still one more level to this whole journey. And it might be the most important one.
You have to ask yourself this question. So you're wealthy? Now what? You've solved all your money problems, but guess what? You're still you. The internal work, the hard stuff, that's just beginning. This is where the whole focus has to shift from the outside world to your inside world.
And this realization hits hard, right? Money solves your money problems. That's it. It doesn't fix a restless mind. It doesn't cure anxiety. If you were unhappy before you were rich, chances are you'll just be an unhappy person with a bigger bank account.
So Naval completely reframes what happiness is. He says it's not something you go out and find. It's not about adding positive thoughts. It's your natural default state. It's what's left over when you remove the feeling that something is missing.
See, desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. So happiness is actually a skill you learn, the skill of letting go.
And really, it all boils down to this: the three most valuable things in life: a calm mind, a fit body, and a house full of love. These are things that all the money in the world can't buy you. They have to be earned. And this leaves us with a really powerful paradox to think about. The very thing that drives success, that constant striving, that dissatisfaction with how things are, can be the biggest enemy of your happiness. So Naval's framework doesn't just give you a map to get rich. It forces you to stop and ask yourself, what game am I really trying to win?